there's a couple of things. The mind is just really freaking out. And oddly enough, it's not spinning. There aren't a lot of thoughts, but there's this feeling of wanting to get out of my own skin and just run. You know, like I'd run out of this building, run out of this town. So I'm, yeah.
Yes.
And I figure I must be in the right place or it wouldn't be happening.
That's right. That is mature seeing. That is mature seeing. This is happening because something is getting closer.
Right.
Yes.
It's breaking apart,
yes.
actually.
Yes, something is breaking apart. You know, when you first came to Shasta, I don't know how many months back, you said, I've been doing this my whole life, and now coming here I realize I really do not know if I have what it takes. But you do, and you know it now. And now, what has prevented you from coming to this place of recognizing that you do have what it takes, and it is happening, there is this screaming, you know? Like a 2-year-old temper tantrum.
Right.
Yes. If you respond to it, then the 2-year-old learns, I have power. If I scream long enough, I get what I want. If you do nothing,
then it's over.
Then it's over. It may not be over immediately in something like this. It may scream for a while. But eventually, once there is the recognition that the screaming does nothing, the system does not waste energy.
I lost that.
Yes, there will not be screaming continuing to happen once there is true recognition that it cannot do anything.
Mm.
It is an expenditure of energy.
Right.
So I have a question. This screaming, this feeling like you're crawling out of your skin, can you find what it is affecting?
It's a sensation in the body.
Yes. Can you find what the body is affecting?
Itself.
Yes, itself.
It's an inside job.
Yes, it is an inside job, and you cannot find anything that it is truly affecting. You cannot find anything the entirety of this dream is affecting. If you are not identified that you are the character and this is all real and you feel the totality of all of it, you cannot find what it is affecting. Because it's not affecting anything.
There's one other thing.
How is it feeling right now?
It's less.
Yes.
Less intense.
Yes. So I just want to say one more piece about this. There is an ingrained assumption, and it gets much more intense when there is discomfort, this assumption, that is me. I am this body. I want to run. And it is not to put in another assumption. It is just realize there is this ingrained assumption. So what is the taste of this if you delete an assumption that is automatic? You just delete the assumption that that is or has anything to do with me.
Sensation.
Sensation. Does sensation, is this experienced as a problem?
Only if I want to make it one.
That's right. Only if this assumption is grabbed onto again. That's right. When it is tasted as it is, sensation, free from assumption, and you fall into it. Instead of conditioned mind trying to get away from it, you fall into it like an explorer. Until you are that, what happens?
I can't find anything.
You can't find anything that happens. Grace. This is grace.
Because I'm getting serious.
Yes, it is because you are getting serious about it. And where that serious about it, if you truly look for it, comes, you can't find the I. The entire life running all over the world in spiritual quest. But once there is this true recognition, I am getting serious about it, everything transforms. And every time there is the appearance of a problem, this sense of conviction and strength only grows.
Right.
Right.
That's already happened.
Yes, I know. So the opportunity is to continue falling into it. It is the doorway, not the problem. The story is I fall into it and it disappears, then it should just be gone. Sometimes that is the way it plays. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there is a remaining with it for days. Right. It doesn't matter. So you had another question.
Oh, this relates to the last time I was up, and you said something to the effect of, if you have the same desire for intimacy with me that you have for intimacy with a woman, you'll make great progress, something like that.
The suffering around that will be finished, yes.
Okay. And at the time, my first thought was, did he actually say that? I mean, I wasn't. And then the next thought after that was, I don't think I have a clue how to do that. Like, this character doesn't have a clue.
It is not about the character, it is about the hunger for freedom.
Hmm.
The woman represents the primary injury, which the ego is fueled around. The ego wants it in that package. But what is happening is what happens for every player. It never comes in the package the ego wants, because then the ego would survive. But what happens is that what is really wanted, which is the love, which is pure love. When there is not feeding the ego's desire system, it starts appearing everywhere, in everything. So the ego wants the relationship with the woman, but this form is what symbolizes your freedom. Wanting this is wanting freedom. Wanting a woman is wanting what will satisfy the injury of ego, and it will never happen, not in that package. Maybe temporarily, maybe something will happen and temporarily it will surface and you'll recognize, man, when I was single, that was the best.
Yeah. Well, actually, there have been some opportunities surfacing, and I've been kind of...
It is not about playing any rule in the play of the game.
Right.
I have no idea what's to play in the rule of the game. What I am speaking about is the heart's fire.
Okay.
If it happens, it happens. It is just not to get lost. One of the things that does happen in this dream is as ego starts wearing down, this is all a reflection, it is all an offer, it is all a doorway. So the dreamscape does morph. It morphs as the healing happens.
Right.
It's just, if it is looking for something dependent on someone, then it can only bring temporary satisfaction. When I am speaking about me, and I know you know this, that is why I use these terms, I am not speaking about someone. I am speaking about what this is representing.
Well, I think what comes up, is all the father stuff. And
I am not speaking about the form.
I know,
Yes.
but I'm just saying. And then there's kind of this fear that if I stop controlling myself, I have no idea what this form is going to do.
That's right. That's true. That's the deal. So, choice A is to live inside this pain-driven contraction that only goes in circles and is constantly in dissatisfaction, and its behaviors are driven out of this protection. And then there is point B, where there have been tastes, and every time the taste has come, it has been pure beauty, but out of that contracted point of reference it says, oh my God, what will that look like? It's kind of a no-brainer. Yet it takes enormous courage. If one is serious, it takes enormous courage. If it is not the experience that this takes enormous courage, the step has not been taken.
Right.
It is the turning over of everything. The truth is, it is only the turning over of suffering, and you know that. But from the conditioned mind's perspective, it is the turning over of everything.
Right. It's death.
That's right. That's what it is. It's the death of suffering. It is the death of separation. It is the death of the individual one. Another way of calling it is walking through the gates of heaven. Yeah, stepping through the gateless gate, where in truth you have never left. It is only suffering that has obstructed the view. And suffering wants to survive. And it looks at the possibility of letting go of the suffering as something risky. And therein lies the game. And what is necessary? One thing, the readiness. And that is happening, and that is why everything is transforming. That is why the feeling of jumping out of your skin and the body wanting to run. It is suffering wanting to run. Let it run.
Right.
Yes. But you remain. Okay, you are very welcome.